How's it going out there, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Cash, and this is Weekly Recap. I'm going to go over my week of operating a semi-truck in the United States for a 7-day or less period. I'm leased to an 80/20 refrigerated carrier, of which I don't really care to talk about, so don't worry about asking me about it. I'm not a recruitment bro. It's not my thing. This week is the first week of July 2025. These numbers are just numbers. Don't let them hurt your feelings. Don't let them get your butt hurt. It's just what happened to me. I'm not asking you to go do it. This is what I did. And I'm going to go over the numbers. We'll talk about the loads I did, why I did them. Then we'll go over the loads and why I did them. Then we'll go over the numbers at the end. So stick around if you want to see what I made for the week and why I did what I did. Freight is pretty tough right now, especially, July here. This week is actually over the July 4th weekend. I worked the July 4th weekend, and basically, it had nothing to do with working the holiday, not working the holiday. It had to do with, I just didn't time things out to be off for the holiday. I took like 4 or 5 days off right before the 4th of July. So then I was like, I might as well go work and make some money. So that's what we did. That's what I did. Let's talk about these loads. Minnesota to Georgia, the old standby here, 36 empty miles, 1157 loaded, 1193 all-in miles on this load, 0 degrees, 43,000 pounds, $3,000 that load paid. And then we was down there in Georgia, so we did Georgia to Alabama. Georgia to Alabama, 65 empty miles, 335 loaded, 400 total miles on that load, 42 degrees, 33,000 pounds, $1,000 on that one. And then we dropped down to Mississippi to Minnesota. This is not my normal Mississippi to Minnesota. This was a curveball they threw me. Very tight scheduled load here. I actually made it on time, and I tell you, when I first picked this up, I was like, there's no way this is making it on time. It literally picked up in the afternoon in Mississippi and then had to be delivered the next night in Minnesota. So picked up at like 2 p.m., delivered 1,000 miles away in Minnesota at 8 p.m. the next day. Trucking, man. Trucking. So that's what we do, right? And that load was 208 empty miles, 1,004 loaded miles, 1212 on the total miles, negative 10 degrees, 20,000 pounds, $2,250 on that one. So not bad, like $225 a mile coming up out of Mississippi. Not too bad. Light load too. But that's what I did. The Minnesota load was kind of crazy. I'd never done that load before, and I think if I was a little closer to it, it wouldn't have been as bad. But having to do a 200, so basically what happened, here's the story. I got unloaded on like a Tuesday morning, and then I had a 208 mile deadhead to go get this load in the afternoon. And then got loaded in the afternoon and then had to run 1,004 miles. So if I was a little closer, if that deadhead wasn't 208, that would have been a lot easier, But starting out, and that wasn't 208 of freeway miles at 70 mile an hour. That was through the backwoods of Mississippi. A lot of US 84, US 49, basically went from like southern Alabama up to Jackson, Mississippi, up through the windy roads. But overall, not a bad load. The receiver was off the hook on this one. I don't know what was going on over there. I don't know if it was blunt brake at the warehouse. They put me straight to a door. It was an Americode. They put me straight in the door. They pulled everything off. They come out. They give me my paperwork. Good to go. I go to close the doors. There's 2 pallets left on there. And these are like, this was like a proprietary load. Like, they were not going to give this away. Like, this was a very specific item that is only sold at one place. Okay? It was a McDonald's product. And let me tell you, they were not going to give me 2 pallets of this product. You know, even if it was an overage, they would have took it. So I go in, I say, hey guys, just wondered, 2 pallets left on the trailer. You sure we're unloaded? And I'm talking, I heard a foreman at the warehouse chew a guy's ass for 5 minutes straight about this. Like he called him names that you probably shouldn't call an employee. But I'm sure he probably has to deal with this guy all the time, every day, and he's just tired of it. You know, it was funny because I was standing there like pretending I wasn't hearing it. You know, it's like, oh, look, they got new light bulbs. Boy, they need to dust the ceiling. You know, just trying anything to not make eye contact with either one of them while this was going on. And yeah, I was like, I hated it got the guy in trouble, but I mean, I can't do anything with 2 pallets of product. You know, I'm like trying to go home. I just want you to unload it so I can go home. And yeah, so got him offloaded, finally got it all offloaded. And that kind of wrapped up the week. Other than that, it was a pretty plain Jane week. I've done the Minnesota to Georgia load 100 times in my career, probably. The Georgia to Alabama, I think that was the 2nd or 3rd time I've done that load. So, you know, just same old loads, rinse and repeat. I do them over and over, so that's what I like. And then the McDonald's load was a little weird, a little out of character for me. Normally out of Mississippi, I got one thing I haul out of Mississippi, and it wasn't that this time. I don't know. I like that this was light. It was only 20,000 pounds, but it was negative 10 degrees. And in Jackson, Mississippi, it just happened to be on like July 7th or something like that. It just happened to be like 100 degrees there. And it's one of those things. You reefer haulers know exactly what I'm talking about. They come out, they tell you, open the doors, back it in. Fine, open doors, back in. And then you sit there for 30 minutes with them not doing a damn thing. And you know the temperature on that trailer is just going up and up and up and up because there's not a perfect seal back there, you know. The dock plate leaves a couple inch gap. You know, you're pouring freezing cold air just into the 100 degree nothingness, you know. So wasn't crazy about that. And especially once he loaded me, they loaded all the way to the back door. I mean, there's barely rooms just to set your load locks in the back door. Like, I wasn't even going to try to put them up because the load goes damn near to the chute and all the way to the back door. They've got this down to a science. It's a McDonald's load. Like, you know, they know exactly to get the most amount of product on there. They know what they're doing. So they close you up, and then you have to pull around to the front of the warehouse, go in and get your paperwork, but you can't leave until the guard comes over and verifies your trailer is at 10 degrees or below. I mean, by the time they got me loaded, I pulled up, closed the doors, pulled around the front of the building. They park you right beside the building where there's no airflow whatsoever. And then it's like, you know, 1,000,000 degrees sitting there. So the trailer struggles, you know, to get down to 10. And finally it does. But, you know, I didn't like that because it's already a tight load. And I'm losing 30 minutes just sitting there waiting. Because, you know, like, I don't care how good your trailer is. You know, I got a decent trailer. It's like a 2020. It's not brand new, but it's not an old clapped out trailer either, you know. But, you know, even just pulling up, closing the doors when it's 100 degrees outside, you know, you're going to lose 20 degrees or so. And that's about what I lost. I went, you know, when he loaded it, I was at about 20, pulled up, closed the doors, then I was about at 40. So it took it a while at that temperature outside. Sometimes reefer's pain. You know, when you want to hit the road and get going and you got to sit there and wait on some guard. And literally, he came and checked the trailer and it was at 10.5 degrees. And he would not let me leave at 10.5 degrees. I was like, bro, you're going to break my balls over a half a degree. Like, and number one, the trailer would cool better if I could leave and get some air moving. You know, like instead of sitting there parked against a wall where the sun is reflecting off the wall onto the trailer. The trailer was literally getting the sun on all sides except for the back and the bottom. I mean, I'm surprised it got down to 10, to be honest with you. But that was the loads for the week. Let's get to the numbers. 6250 total gross revenue. Me and my carrier combined made 6250, and my business gets to keep 5,000 of that. And the mileage on it, 2850 all miles, 2496 a loaded mile, 309 empty miles, 11% deadhead on that. Now let's talk about rate per miles. 223 all miles, $1.78, my 80%, and that's 250 a loaded mile. Let's go over the variable cost of it now. $12.87 in diesel. Yes, diesel prices creeped up on me during this time frame here of this week. I just felt like early July we were seeing the full effects of fuel price increases. So $12.87 on diesel, $2.36 on reefer fuel, $55 on DEF, $9 on tolls, 0 scales, 0 parking, total variable cost $15.87. Bring over my $5,000, subtract out the $15.87, and it leaves me $3,413 left to do what I have to do with. And from that, you would still have plenty of things you need to take out of it that I don't talk about. The truck payment, the insurance, the taxes. Hell, if you got a trailer payment, all that has to come out of that. So these are tight weeks. Doing the best we can with it, but that's what it is. That's where we at these days. Thanks everybody for watching. Be sure to smash the like button for me if you would, please, on the way out. Thanks everybody for watching. Take care of each other out there, please. And remember, people are more important than trucking. Hi, I want to talk to you real quick about the ES Advantage card. Do you need discounts at major truck stop chains? They got them. Do you need discount on shop rates at TA and Love's? They got them. Tire discounts. They even got health insurance now. Click the link down below. Easy application, no credit check. Sign up. They give you a call back, take all your information, and you'll be in the network. Hi, let me introduce you to Zero Breeze. It's a portable air conditioner. It is lightweight. It is very convenient. Take this with you everywhere you go. 5,280 BTUs of cooling power right in the palm of your hand. Run it off its battery or 2 batteries. It's up to you. Or you can run it straight off your truck's inverter and your truck batteries. Use my link below to save money and not idle that truck.